Quiet, we're rolling!
Gyula Padush, my director of photography, and Steve Joyner and Kayla, we all sat down and we tried to think of other films that had epic jungle scenes in it that really visually was stunning and complemented what the story was trying to achieve. You know, everything from The Sorcerer to, of course, the original Predators, to Arachnophobia. I mean, I think there was a wide range of films that we looked at. We all agreed that these jungles can't be the beautiful, lush, you know, jungles that you see in Lost, or, you know, you see. We definitely knew that the jungle had to complement the Predator.
I've never seen this jungle, and I've seen most.
We ended up actually doing something a little backwards for the locations guys. We sent a Texan to Hawaii to find the locations because he knows what's here that can match. So we sent Logan out there to find things that could look otherworldly, but that then could be brought this way, and along with things we could build, make it happen.
Hawaii wasn't the first choice. We looked at quite a few jungles. We explored Puerto Rico and Mexico, China even. So there was a pretty broad net cast to find this perfect alien jungle. And we ended up in Hawaii because it has a great look. It doesn't have a specific feel to it. Like, it's not, you don't see it and go, hey, we're in Hawaii.
Predators 2009. It's a tough day at the office, just kind of showing up, kind of hanging out. They have us in Hawaii. It's tough. It's really tough, but somebody's got to do it.
We ended up using Hilo, Hawaii, as our exotic location because it is one of the newest islands that's been formed. Mm-hmm. It's very rough in terrain. It has a unique vegetation, even from the other Hawaiian islands, because of its relative young geologic age. And the parts that we went into for the jungle and that locations found for us were very alien, very extreme, very difficult to work in.
From the very early things I've done, I was always very lucky to be surrounded by stuntmen who were extraordinary at what they did. Jeff Dashnaw were just incredible, and the things that they were capable of doing and doing them safely was impressive. It was really impressive.
I'm gonna do my own stunt. Check that out. That's the drop that they're doing today.
Oh my God! That's crazy.
The high fall into the water is something that I think Nimrod was very happy with that sequence. And, you know, it was a little bit nerve-wracking for me because, as far as I know, just locals in Hawaii were the only ones that ever dove that. And, you know, you hear, oh, it's 50 feet deep, 30 feet deep. And we actually went out there and it was like 12 feet deep coming from 80 feet. So we had to do a little prep work there.
I get worried about jumping into a pool sometimes, let alone jumping off an 80-foot cliff, so it was pretty impressive. You know, the fact that they were able to do the things that they did was incredible, but the fact that they were able to stand up at the end of it, you know, and give me a hug, that meant a lot.
Extras all in! Extras all in!
This is just like what it was like almost every day on that 70 show. So there's nothing new to me. That was so much fun. Oh my God. You know, when I read this, I thought, we're not really gonna, this isn't really gonna happen. It really happened. It's unbelievable, man. Very cool.
There were a few locations which we tried to match to Hawaii, which we actually found practically here in Texas. We also found a lot of locations that were very otherworldly, alien-looking, not far from Austin. So, Austin is weird.
So this is Hamilton Pool. It's a county park. It's definitely a natural wonder. It's an amazing place, and we're very lucky to be here. We had to put a lot of environmental concerns at the forefront to be able to work in such a sensitive area. And we were very lucky to have the county cooperating with us and letting us be here to film.
The problem is we scouted this location about 2 months ago, and there was no waterfall. That's the first part of the problem. The second part of the problem was it was much warmer. So suddenly, a scene that was meant to go from a very angry place to almost an intimate place has been ruined because we have, though gorgeous, but completely impractical waterfall. My actors are freezing. The sound department hates my guts because we can't hear anything. I put my DP in the water as well, so he's not very happy with me right now either. This is a tough day. I'm so proud of them. That water is so cold. Nobody would want to be there. People talk about the glamorous Hollywood life of actors.
There you go. The water is cold. My understanding is Texas is actually in the south, but I guess not. But the air temperature is much colder, so it's good. You know, I feel like I'm earning my stripes, you know?
Central Texas has so many weird rock formations, and Texas in general does too. I mean, you go to Big Bend, and it's like, whoa, what is this? And I really feel like if you're creative and you can match it and then create things on a stage that go along with the same thing, then you have the makings of pretty much being able to shoot anything here. You know, the timetable is always short. That's part of the reason we can make them for less than somebody else could have. It's a whole culture of thinking. How can we make this movie for this money, but make it huge, make it look huge? You know, this is the same budget as Sin City, but this one has huge sets and not as much visual effects. You know, this group of people just always comes up with the most amazing things, and then they just work nonstop. I mean, these guys have been working 7-day weeks for weeks now.
I think the thing about Predators that was really the kicker from the beginning was we all had the mandate that we were going to refer to the original Predator only. That's what we all wanted to do. We were really inspired by the idea. I think I watched the original Predator 7 times. I've studied every frame. John McTiernan did such a fantastic job with his team so long ago. Every scene was well thought out. Every scene had a person camouflaged in the frame. They really attended to every detail. They had great foreground images, always something between the character and the camera. I mean, everything was really structured. It had a great architecture to it. When you have that kind of challenge facing you, you want to rise to the occasion.
Steve and Kayla and their whole art department is just truly, and then they, like you said, they designed the weapons. It's a whole process. And now it's like this crazy Willy Wonka shop of whatever. You know, we can make anything happen.
Sarah is making alien chain right now. Again, you don't want anything to be human down to the smallest detail. So all our links will be made of rubber and assembled. Especially for great foreground moments, you want to have things always in foreground, and this is a great way to do that, and you know, it gives a cool bit of visual interest. This is a prop that's coming up in a few days. This is a weapon that I think will be used between Royce and the Berserker. The head of the tool has to break off during a stunt, so everything has to be rigged accordingly so it can be a breakaway piece.
I think one thing that Robert Rodriguez achieved in Troublemakers is it is a filmmaker studio. And unfortunately, in a business where millions of dollars are involved and it has become very much a business, you lose a lot of the artistic process. And one thing that Troublemaker and Robert gave me was an environment in which to make a film based on what the filmmaker feels is right for the film. And that is something very special.
And then let me see where your look is gonna be. Ready? And
hold it with the other hand then. Grab the leash with the other hand. There you go.
There's no studio heads down here, you know, telling people what to do. They get to come and really play, and I really enjoy hiring people to come do something different than they usually do.
I think that he was able to protect me in a way that And it may have something to do with distance, I don't know, but I think it had a lot to do with just making sure we had all the tools and toys to play with.
It gives them a real opportunity to spread their wings and be very creatively fulfilling and prove themselves in a different way.